What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage, and it looks like we're finally getting some common sense when it comes to states and new emission rules. Because what if I told you 2 states are completely eliminating smog checks and safety inspections? California next. Roll the intro. So welcome on back to TK's Garage, and in today's video, I want to talk a little bit about what just happened in New Hampshire. Now, New Hampshire has always been, it's on the license plate, right? Live free or die. They really mean that. Only state in the country where seatbelts are not required. Should tell you a lot. It's also a state that has no sales tax. So me growing up in Boston, whenever we were buying something that was expensive, or as we got older and we were buying alcohol, we'd hit the packy right over the border. And if you don't know what a packy is, it's a package store. It's a liquor store. We would drive up into New Hampshire. As soon as we cross over, hit the liquor store and go back to Massachusetts. So New Hampshire's governor, Kelly Ayotte, signed the state budget into law, which includes a provision to eliminate mandatory vehicle safety inspections and smog checks starting January 31st, 2026. This means New Hampshire drivers will no longer need to get their vehicles inspected annually. The decision to end inspections was part of a larger budget deal that passed the legislature. The Senate had previously delayed action on a bill that would have eliminated inspections and smog, but ultimately a compromise was reached as part of the budget bill. While some lawmakers expressed concerns about potential loss of federal funding related to emission standards, the final budget package included the repeal of the inspection requirement. The State Department of Environmental Services had also imposed the elimination of inspections and smog checks. Citing the role of inspections in reducing vehicle emissions. Bullshit. At least, and here's the thing, before you go, well, it must have been a bunch of Republicans. No, wrong. A bunch of Democrats voted for that, and they're starting to wake up. That's the thing. That's why you're seeing what you're seeing now in California, where they're going, wait a minute with this stuff from CARB, because in New Hampshire, the CARB equivalent, the NHDES, right? Department of Environmental Services, wanted to keep the inspections. The difference, I would say, between California and New Hampshire is the people in New Hampshire, or the government workers, are, actually for the people, right? The elected officials are actually for the people, for the most part in New Hampshire. I'm not going to say all of them are, but it gets better. So in Texas, Governor Greg Abbott had already signed a bill into law and some executive orders that removed the requirement for safety inspections and smog checks. Other counties, like Harris County, which is Houston, Dallas, and a couple other places, still required these smog checks, these scams. And the governor has now recognized that with the state attorney general, and they're going to go after Harris County. They're going to go after these other counties that are pushing this BS narrative. So are we seeing a turn of municipalities and elected officials turning against these environmental agencies in the states and their BS scamming smog checks? Yes, we are. And it's about damn time. Because what we're seeing, and this is how you know the tide is changing, because even if you look at what's going on in California directly, they're now pushing to severely limit CARB's authority to do anything. I have a whole separate video on E&Os, like part numbers and things of that nature, and what the federal government is doing. As CARB has tried to push the narrative of, oh yeah, we know we have to follow these federal emissions now, but you still have to buy CARB compliant parts. Wrong. That is setting policy, setting rules on emissions in that state. You can't do that. The federal government has already made it clear. And I'm waiting to see if some news drops today, because a couple of shops in California are supposedly trying to sue the state for this exact same reason. Obviously, they're tutor shops, right? So and they reached out to me. I got a couple of emails. I said, as soon as you get this thing filed, send me the case number so I can talk about it. But it looks like the tide is finally turning to common sense when we're looking at what's going on in the state of California. Thank God. And to be in New Hampshire, to be right next to California 2.0 in the state of Massachusetts, and to do what they just did is huge. And I'll tell you why. A lot of people also that live in Boston, like in Massachusetts, would register their vehicles in New Hampshire. It was cheaper, to get a tag or do your stuff. It's also easier, less bureaucracy, less of a pain in the ass. And by the way, like I said, if you buy a car in New Hampshire, no sales tax. So there are a lot of advantages. Oh, that's the other thing too. I think New Hampshire is the only one of the only states that car insurance is not required to get your registration. Like they literally live by that live free or die crap. Now I don't know if that's still the case or if they've passed legislation. I'm just talking about knowing when I was growing up, like car insurance was not required, seatbelts, and I know the seatbelt thing is still not a thing, but man, that state they literally stand on live free or die. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. There was all kinds of breaking news. You can see I got the news up here on the big screen this morning, and I'm watching for news on the big, beautiful bill. And as soon as that passes, we'll be talking about it. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Our Tesla Model S giveaway is still going on. If you click any of this merch below the video or go over to tksgarage.com, every dollar counts as one entry. This is my watch telling me I'm a fat ass and to get up. Every dollar spent counts as one entry. Got to give a major shout out to one of the people that have ordered the most through our site. So shout out to Kimmy, man. UAW workers out there in Detroit really have been pushing and pushing the channel and pushing our merch, and I truly appreciate it. I've had people sending me photos from car meets and all kinds of stuff. It's with the Back to the Hemi merch. It's been awesome. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you guys very much for watching, and as always, stay petty, my friends.